Hey everyone, Clint Butler here from Digitaleer, and I want to go over the spreadsheets that we gave out to 10 of our followers. Just testing out a new tool that we've found to increase the opportunities within our marketplace. Most specifically, what this tool does, it looks at 300 or over 300 factors in the search results for a specific search term, and analyzing 100 of those websites with 300 of those factors kind of finds out, let us determine what we need to do in order to rank number one for that listing. There's a lot of people have tried this. There's plenty of tools that tell you, heading tags, alt tags, meta descriptions, and stuff like that. I don't think anyone's done it to this magnitude with the larger amount of factors in such a creative way. So what we would like to do, since the software that does this is pretty expensive, is offer this as a service. If you have a local business, for example, or a local business client, they got 10 pages that generate revenue for them. You want to rank all 10 of those pages. You give us the 10 keywords and $100. We'll give you these spreadsheets and you can knock it out. This is a really great way also to have a deliverable right off the bat for your clients if you're an agency. This is not white or labeled. We're not customizing these spreadsheets. This is the way the software spits it out. So you can mark it up with your own branding and all that stuff right off the bat, and you're good to go. So without further ado, let me explain these things, and I'm going to go in a random order. First is the results tab. You see it all the way down at the bottom, and it gives you the domain name, the title tag, the URL, and the meta description, and for all 100 sites that it reviewed for your particular keyword. As you can see, maybe not because it's so tiny, but if you can see here on the summary, our keyword is Seattle SEO for this particular spreadsheet. The next tab you want to look at is the debug tab. Now you need to grab column B here and kind of stretch this out a little bit so you can see everything that's inside of there. There is a wealth of information. You just kind of want to stretch it out, but you don't want to get too crazy with it. Same with column C. A little bit more just in case. And then column D is fine the way it is. This is your key to everything that's here. And everything that is on the overview tab. So this is a good place to come and look and try to decipher some of the things that the software is looking for. I'm going to warn you now, the people that made this are 10,000 times smarter than I am. So there are a lot of things in here that even I get a little bit where you have to use your imagination and your learning ability and your ability to use Google and figure out where they're going at. With these things. Obviously, the creators are not going to make 300 and some odd videos, 354 to be exact, to explain each one of these things, but for the most part, they're all simple to identify. You read it, it is what it is. There are a couple of things in here, some numbers and stuff that might throw you off a little bit. Don't get stressed out about it. Just move on to the next thing. All right, the next chart we're going to look at is the summary. This is a correlation, so everything you see here, in this case, let's say plus ones in Google API for the URL of at least 196, meaning I need to have at least 196 plus ones. It highly correlated with all of those 100 sites that we looked at in the results, that this is how many Google plus ones you need to rank for the number one position. This is highly correlated that if you want to be number one, you need to have HTTPS protocol in your URL. So you get it. You're highly coordinated. You need to have image tags. Highly coordinated, you need the H4 and through H6 tags. If you read this entire list, you'll notice the H4 is listed a whole bunch of times. So maybe it'd probably be a good idea for me to have a H4 with the keyword in it, right? So that's where this strong correlation comes from and what you're going to do with that information. Right off the bat, you want to knock out as much as you can in the significant recommendations. And then if you've exhausted all of those and you're still not where you want to be, knock out the interesting recommendations. Then you see where that movement gives you, and now you know how many links you really need to rank. So if you're ranking number 3 with all your on-page stuff, you maybe need only 1 or 2 good real power links to knock you right up to number 1, versus buying 10, 15, 20 PBN or whatever links you guys use for marketing for link building. So this is really, I think, next gen stuff. It's going to take your on-page optimization to a whole new level. It's going to reduce your off-page link building costs too, in my humble but accurate opinion. All right, so here is the overview sheet. This is all of that data all put into something that you can possibly read. There's a lot of extra stuff in here beyond the just what you need to do. And again, here's the strong correlations. And you see that they are colored in orange. You want to knock out all the orange stuff. The blue stuff is the interesting, the stuff that you want to knock out later or after you've taken care of the orange. And then the white stuff is statistically irrelevant, meaning there is no correlation, or if there was one, it's so minuscule there's really not a lot of point in wasting your time with it. Then you scroll all the way down to the bottom here, and then this is the stuff that you should not do. It's highlighted so that you can go through and make sure that you're not over optimized or you're not taking too much advantage of it. So in this case here, it says Google result URL path does not appear to help. So having Seattle SEO in your URL, your complete URL does not help you, but having it in exact match of your domain or partial match domain does, which is up here somewhere as well in this mix of mess. So in short, top good, bottom bad, and focus on getting the stuff in the top right correct and optimized, and then you're good to go. I want to, before I start messing with the sheet and changing the way it looks for you to make it easier to read, I want to highlight some stuff here, and it is called the match words. And what that does is you have a couple of, everyone knows about suggested search. Type it in into the search bar and you get stuff. So let's go Seattle, and there's suggested search. And then if you continue to do that, you get the related searches on the bottom. But not very many pieces of software actually bring in the matched words, the bolds right here. If you see those, Seattle SEO is a match word, SEO is a match word, search engine optimization is a match word, and those are all brought into your spreadsheet right here to continue your research battle, and you can also add those match words to your content. Obviously, you're not going to add 50 different versions of Seattle. However, it gives you a good place to start. You can see the same. Let's go Houston plumbers. And let's see with some match words. Houston, plumber, plumbing in Houston, plumbing, plumbers in Houston, plumbing, plumber, Houston plumbing. So you get it. So if I was going to make one of these spreadsheets for Houston plumbers, that match word would have all of those listed in there as well. One good thing I will point out is this pop-up comments thing is really annoying. Probably an Excel thing, but just know that that's going to kind of irritate you sometimes. So let's say we want to go ahead and knock out our optimization. But I want this thing to be really easy to read. Highlight comments, columns B through F, right click and click hide. And that brings that over there. We don't need these two columns here because our color coding is also in the best of. Basically, the best of is the best of one of these two, so we're just going to use the best of. So you're going to hide that. The factor docs you don't need. That is all the software coding and stuff like there is inside of the back end. I'm going to go back over here and close this stupid comment. Alright, and then let's say we don't need L and M. So you're going to hide those. We don't need any of those, so we're going to hide those. And we want to be page 1, so we're going to keep the first page result, and we happen to be, let's say we're number 18. So we want to hide everything between 1 and 18. And we want to hide all this stuff. Let's go. Excel's clowning me today, or else I would just selected all that at once. There we go. So now we have our site and the number 1 site. There's their numbers versus our numbers, and now we need to do some stuff to make this better. So we go in here, and we have all of the information of what we need to do. Here's the factor, here's their recommendation, here's the color, here's their site, here's our site. So I need at least 196. I find out how many I have. You can do that on any of these social signal checkers. Find out how many plus ones you have, and then get the rest. And then go down the line. If I don't have an SSL, then I want an SSL. So I put result number 18 on an SSL certificate. Image tags, number of image tags in the website. It says at least 14. So they want a lot of images. You can do that actually fairly easily. This one has 15. This one has 25. So you need at least one more, maybe. But look at it. Just count your images. You have 14 images. Let's see. Href tags, ahref tags as a factor. Probably wouldn't really worried about that one. H4 tags, we can do those really easy. Microdata we can add really easy. Just make sure all your URLs are linked to HTTPS. This one here is a little rough. The Bing search by hostname, it has a huge, massive monster number. That's how many pages that Bing has indexed for the number 1 listing. I wouldn't really stress over that one. It would be cool if you had a site that big, but if you don't, then you don't. Microdata is again a schema. Microdata, more H tags, a lot of H tags in this particular term. So you can see the H2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are important for my term. Microdata, and I want to get some plus ones. That should, doing those few things should bump you from 18 up closer to number 1, and then you can kind of, do your research and figure out what they're talking about with the rest of this stuff. In particular, like the web page HTML source, a value of at least 140. Web page source of greater 0. That's the microdata. You can take care of that. That's separate. So I think this should help you significantly reduce the amount of time it's taking you to do your on-page stuff. Then you can actually highlight 7 of these things and then pass this on to your sources or us here at Digitaleer and say, can you fix these 6, 7 elements on my page using our on-page services, and we'll knock all this stuff out for you. Very cool spreadsheet, a lot of information. There's another version of it in here. Really, this is just kind of cool to have. You don't really need it. It's harder to interpret what's going on looking at it anyway. Everything is here and in your summary. So summary and overview tabs are really good. Let's look at how to use that debug thing. I mentioned that before. So let's pick this one that we were looking at. Alt text HTML source is right here, right? So I want to go like this because I need to unhide something, and I need to unhide. Let's go. I'll just unhide all of it. And I need the HTML web source, at least the volume of. I'm going to copy that box. Oops. I'm going to copy that box right there. Go to debug tab. We're going to search for it. Delete the .html. Hit enter. And there it gets number of matches, in the web page HTML source as the factor. So number of references to Seattle SEO within the HTML code. uh, outside of the text. So that'd be interesting. Honestly, what I would think here is if you add JSON LD or your microdata markup, and you have reference to Seattle SEO in your microdata, you've met that particular um, recommendation. Again, knock out the stuff that you know for sure what it is, see what happens, and then look at and kind of just use your brain and common sense and research the rest of it. There's a lot of stuff here. Microdata and schema will take care of most of it, and then the rest of it is all in your content and your tags and your formatting. So I hope this video is helpful to explain these cool spreadsheets, and I hope you reach out to us and we'll make some more for you as soon as we get the sales page up. Thanks.